He'll make up for it through force of will. Accelerate! My Hero Academia Vigilantes episode 9 is out, titled Mom Descends. Of course, we're going to be breaking down the episode as well as the entire season each week, so be sure to Detroit, smash that like button, and subscribe to the QUIRK channel so that you won't miss out on any My Hero Academia Vigilantes content. The episode begins with Makoto coming into Koichi's house, introducing herself to his mom as Koichi's girlfriend. Koichi thanks Makoto for helping him out with a lie, and she tells him this favor is going to cost him. Koichi's mom, Shoko, loves Makoto and then slaps the shit out of Koichi from a distance using her fly swatter quirk, knowing that Koichi is lying to her about this whole relationship and now doesn't believe anything he has told her. Caught in the lie, Makoto reassures Koichi's mom that she is actually keeping an eye on him in college, so she doesn't have to worry about that, and maybe one day her and Koichi will actually end up dating. His mom loves the idea, and Pop ends up walking in, revealing that her leaving in the last episode was her going to change her clothes to come back and appear as Koichi's girlfriend. But seeing that Makoto and his mom is already there, she becomes embarrassed and tries to leave. Koichi tells Pop she should stay because he wants to play up his popularity to his mom. She introduces herself, finally revealing her name to be Kazuho Hanayama, and Makoto and Shoko are curious as to how they know each other. And Knuckle Duster arrives and scares the two of them because they don't know how they're going to explain their connection to him. Knuckle actually arrives in some civilian clothing, surprising Pop and Koichi, and Makoto and Shoko thinks Knuckle looks very handsome, with the both of them calling Knuckle daddy. Koichi introduces him to the two women, and Knuckle takes out his business card, revealing that he's with a non-profit organization and his name to be Takeshi Kuroya. But this is actually not his real name and is just an alias that he goes by. Knuckle tells them that they provide support in neighborhoods like Naruhata, where local government and community organizations are less effective. Volunteer workers like Koichi and Pop are key to the mission, keeping the roads clean and patrolling for crime at night, pretty much telling them the truth about their vigilantism, but disguising it as something else entirely. The anime even adds in shots of them patrolling and cleaning up the streets. Makoto notices that Knuckle is built really strong and wonders if he had a different job as a possible pro hero at some point, hinting at a secret past Knuckle has yet to share. Hearing this upsets Shoko, telling Makoto to stick to normal people because heroes let themselves get used until their own lives fall apart, which her saying this can be applied to heroes like All Might, Endeavor, Nana Shimura, and Deku, all who have had their lives fall apart in one way or another due to their devotion of being a hero. All Might, Nana, and Deku's responsibilities of being one-for-all users, causing them to cut themselves off from their loved ones, and Endeavor's need to be number one, causing him to destroy his family. Shoko says this because Koichi used to go around imitating the actions of All Might, interfering in fights and getting himself hurt, overall putting himself in danger to help others. She brings up the incident where he fell into the river to save someone and missed his exam to try and become a hero, and calls Koichi unreliable. Pop yells out that that's not true and begins to blush, not wanting to say any more. Shoko shouts, telling her to speak her mind, and Pop runs away. Feeling bad, Shoko swats Koichi in the back of the head and tells him to chase her down. Makoto, knowing Pop put in a lot of effort in her appearance, tells Koichi to just compliment her when he catches up. At the stairs, Pop almost falls and Koichi catches her and says her outfit makes her look super casual, ruining their moment, and she leaves mad at him. The anime does skip over Koichi heading back to hear that his mom and Makoto have made plans to go sightseeing in Tokyo. The next day, while sightseeing, they visit a ton of different locations, one of them being the Tokyo Sky Egg, which will become a major location in the future Vigilantes arc. Might Tower, All Might's agency, unfortunately doesn't make an appearance this episode, despite it being one of the locations that they visit in the manga. Makoto wonders why he's being so calm, and it's because he really can't be himself as long as his mother is around, so he's detached himself from the situation. He sees an Asakusa Thundergate exclusive All Might hoodie. As they are about to leave to catch their tour bus ride, Koichi quickly buys the hoodie. As Koichi gets roasted by his mom, basically wishing Makoto was her daughter, a cat on top of a bus gets stung by a bee and begins to fuse with the bus using its monster cat QUIRK, taking it over with Hachisuka in a cafe, claiming that they are in for a surprise tour. We get a fun little Easter egg as we see on her GPS, the bee's name is called Hutch the Solitary Bee, which is a reference to the adventures of Hutch the Honeybee, a 1970s Japanese animated TV series about a lonely orphaned bee named Hutch. On top of that, this episode also adds the cat onto the very short list of animals with quirks right next to Principal Nezu. Knuckles sees the runaway bus and notices Koichi is inside of it and notifies Pop of the situation and tells her to bring a feather duster and duct tape. When he first spots the bus, Knuckle can actually be seen sitting on top of a Shonen Jump Plus sign, which is a reference to My Hero Academia Vigilantes being published in the Shonen Jump Plus magazine. While everyone is panicking on the bus, Ingenium arrives on the scene, ripping off the bus doors to evaluate the situation. He sees Koichi and pretends to not know him. Ingenium realizes that stopping the bus from the outside will be hard and could be a disaster if the bus crashes in the area. On the outside, Knuckle Duster uses the duster and duct tape to make a cat toy, grabbing the cat's attention, turning the bus onto the expressway. But the highway leads to a dead end because the overpass was destroyed thanks to the rampaging kaiju monster from the last episode. Ingenium now has 5 minutes till the bus reaches the end of the road to save all of the civilians. Ingenium's sidekicks pull in. His new recruit, Enigma, was originally featured in the special 7.5 chapter where Koichi, as the Crawler, took her to Ingenium's agency. The anime, of course, didn't adapt this chapter, which did take place after Ingenium first found out that Koichi was the Crawler. The anime does also skip over some stuff dealing with Ingenium escorting some people out, and Koichi, Makoto, and Shoko feeling good about the save. Enigma saves most of the civilians, including Koichi and Shoko, leaving Makoto for last. Hachisuka decides to inject the cat with an extra dose of trigger, causing the cat to speed up even faster, and sidelining the Team Ida-10 rescue vehicle. Definitely love the added detail of Ingenium quickly analyzing the situation, seeing that Makoto was able to catch herself from falling out of the bus, making it so he could easily just go after the 2 passengers that fell out after the bus was sidelined. Ingenium goes after Makoto but realizes he's out of gas, since chasing down the bus took a lot from him. He lets his team know, but they won't be able to reach him fast enough to give him some fuel. Koichi remembers he has the All Might hoodie he bought earlier and lets the team know that he has a mobility quirk. After joining the Ida support team, Shoko tries to stop Koichi with a series of swats, but he lets her know that this isn't the time for that, showing her his determination, and he speeds off. Pop and Knuckle arrive on the scene back in their civilian outfits to help the civilians. The anime adds in Ingenium imagining the death of Makoto if he isn't able to save her. Koichi catches up to Ingenium, handing him some juice, as Ingenium uses juice as fuel, which his fuel consumption functions very similar to how the Flash from the DC universe needs to eat a large amount of food in order to access the Speed Force, because his super speed burns through a lot of his calories thanks to his high metabolism. Seeing no other option, Ingenium agrees to team up with the Crawler as long as he doesn't do anything too reckless. The cat's tail proves to be a hassle as it whips at the pair when they get too close. Ingenium tells Koichi to be bait, and Koichi heads up front to distract the cat for Ingenium to hitch a ride from the back and rescue Makoto. But the ears on the All Might hoodie look like a toy, and the cat gets excited and tries to eat Koichi. Ingenium uses Recipro Burst to kick the cat, saving Koichi, but now the bus is moving even faster, and thanks to that attack, his engines are going to overheat, putting him into a forced cooldown state, with him thinking that his only option would be to use his new super move. With there only being 200 meters left until the bus falls off of the freeway, Koichi decides to speed up, leaving Ingenium behind. Koichi gets on the bus saying, "I am here," truly embodying his inner All Might, and his mask comes off of his face, and Makoto sees that Koichi is truly who she believed to be, the Crawler. As this happens, the bus flies off of the freeway, and not giving up on the rescue, Ingenium uses his engine mod ultimate move, Rocket Charge, going into hyper acceleration. He tells the Crawler to jump jump, as he will catch him in midair, and Ingenium leaps off of the edge of the freeway, shooting to land on the other side. With Makoto on his back, Koichi glides up the side of the bus, launching off of the bus, rocketing up to Ingenium. But Koichi didn't have enough speed to make the save. Koichi refuses to fail, and holding Makoto in his arms through sheer willpower, Koichi unlocks a new ability called Force of Will Acceleration, allowing him to briefly float by being able to repel himself off of thin air through only 2 points of his body, breaking through his quirk's requirement of needing 3 points of physical contact on a solid surface to activate. It's revealed by Shoko that Koichi actually used to always be able to repel himself through the air when he was a baby. She became extremely worried over Koichi being able to float himself into dangerous situations and would use her fly swatter quirk to smack him every time he would float in hopes of stopping him from floating, meaning that through Shoko's abuse, Koichi got conditioned into repressing his own quirk, suppressing his quirk's true power. Knuckle tells Shoko that a parent can worry all they like, but every kid's gotta fly sooner or later, and all they can do is teach them how to fall correctly. With Makoto saved, Koichi has a rough landing as Ingenium's engines stall out. Makoto rushes over to Koichi and he tells her that he fell with style. With the bus full on crashing down below, Hachisuka walks away with the cat in her arms. Back at Koichi's apartment, Shoko tells Koichi that she's heading home, seeing that he is in good hands. She tells Pop and Knuckle to smack Koichi whenever he steps out of line, and Knuckle of course is in full support. Shoko whispers to Makoto to give some thought in joining her family, and Makoto blushes, telling Shoko that she will give some open-minded consideration into actually going out with Koichi, completely shocking Pop. The next day, Koichi trains on his newfound ability and is only able to repel himself about a foot off of the ground. Pop tells him to keep practicing and he could reach close to 2 feet. Koichi is disappointed with the results because when he saved Makoto, it felt like he did a real double jump. Pop thinks he was just imagining it, and the episode ends with Koichi believing that he was imbued with the power of the Asakusa Gate, giving him a one-time miracle jump that he now can't replicate. Now, this episode covered a total of 3 chapters, them being chapters 16, 17, and 18. Definitely an amazing episode, and seeing Ingenium and the Crawler team up was perfect in every way, including the animation. Though I do feel like they should have added Yusei Run when Koichi made the save. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on the 9th episode of My Hero Academia Vigilantes. With that said, be sure to Detroit smash the like button, and if you enjoyed the video, then be sure to subscribe to the Kidoroki channel with notifications on so that you don't miss any My Hero Academia Vigilantes content, and I'll see you all in the next one.